right. All right. So thanks everyone for joining today. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna record this and we'll share it with those that registered and to learn a little bit more about our newest report, Coach's Corner. It's our newest report from Leopard BI, which is our newest suite of products that we launched the fall of 2020. We now have over 11 reports in Leopard BI, which is amazing. And so those Leopard BI customers that we have get this report free as part of their subscription. It's now our newest and latest. And really, as a lot of our reports were developed, it came from client feedback. And, I'm sure, Laura, when you go through it, you can talk a little bit about that. Leopard BI, for those that aren't familiar, was really meant to take all of our data, make it actionable and more meaningful for client development, for talent management, for benchmarking. Some of those reports cover tracking law firm alumni, finding potential merger and acquisition targets. You can use it for competitive intelligence and benchmarking, using 18 different data points, such as attorney growth, firm financials, promotional metrics. There's reports that track the health and stability of law firms with our law firm index. The ROI of your recruiting efforts. And of course, there's our connection reports, which I think have been probably the most interesting thus far and well received. It leverages the almost 20 years of history that we have on attorney history on the law firm side and in-house side, and brings them together to create meaningful connections. So the Coach's Corner is our latest and greatest, and Laura will go over that. But before we do that, I want to do some house cleaning. For those that are interested in following along on updates, I'm going to drop some links in the chat. One is our LinkedIn group connection, so you guys can join our follow our LinkedIn. There's always a lot of great news and information that we post on there, news about upcoming webinars, product announcements, and so on. So I dropped that in the chat. I'm also going to drop in the chat our newsletter, which you can sign up for to be part of that, to learn about the same thing, upcoming webinars. And actually, let me change this right here.
And features.
Yep, new features. Yep. So let me do the LinkedIn one. And also want to talk about our upcoming webinar that we have actually next week, which I think we're very excited about. We have a great group, some great research and information that we have. And basically this one's on our women leaving large law survey that we just did. So based on some research that we gathered, our research consistently shows that we have more females join as entry-level hires versus men. But then only 17% of partners at top 200 firms are female. So we wanted to kind of understand basically what happens. We haven't noticed a considerable change during the pandemic, and obviously we'll talk about a lot during the webinar next week. But on Thursday, June 2nd, Laura will be presenting the results of that survey, and we'll also have a couple of partners from a couple of law firms that have been doing some great things and having some great initiatives and programs on promoting the women at their firm. We have Christy Tosh Kreider from Baker Donaldson, Molly Sanger from Gibson Dunn, and we also have Mary Roosevelt Diarmo from Mistel, and Stephanie Marone will moderate. So we should have a great discussion around what happens to women during that kind of journey from entry level to partnership, and get some direct feedback and instances. So we have a lot of great research and survey data to share, and a great discussion that will come out of that webinar next week. So make sure to register for that, and the link was just dropped in the chat. So with that, I think I'm going to pass it over to you, Laura. You can take it away. Again, if anyone has any questions about our research, the study, today's report, just drop it in the chat. And I'll keep dropping it in there. I think as people are joining, they're not seeing it. So let me drop that again in there. But if you have some questions, just drop it in there and I will respond. But I will pass it over to you, Laura, to take from here.
Thank you. And I will say, just as a personal favor to me, I would love it if you all signed up for our newsletter and read it when it came out. I actually had a client get mad at me last week because they were unaware of some features that we had gone live with, even though we had emailed them and we had called them, and they were upset that they didn't know that it was available. So just glance at our newsletter, especially when we're coming out with new features and new reports, because we're doing all of this to save you time and to help you do your job, much more efficiently and be much more productive. So that would be great if you could do that. And now I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay. So I am really excited to bring you this webinar on the Coach's Corner. This has been something we had been kicking around for a long time, and it just took on a little bit more of a sense of urgency recently, and I'll tell you why. We have heard from law firms that when the candidate sits down with the hiring partner, it really kind of starts a dangerous dance. Often that partner fails to sell the firm to the candidate, and then they risk losing that attorney just from that one interview. And often the upsides of a firm can sound all alike, right? You have great culture, you all offer great salaries, and you are all competing against other top firms. So if that's the case, and when everyone sounds the same, how do you stand apart? Why would your firm be a better fit for this particular candidate? And why would they leave their firm for yours? What compelling reasons can you give them? At this moment, when they're sitting in this chair, the hiring partner is the salesman for your firm. What compelling story can he tell to engage the candidate? Stats, facts, figures, we all love data. We all love to talk about data. And it certainly can help to make arguments and pitches more powerful, right? We all know that. Data, when used properly, can make an argument more compelling. It can underscore your position, and it adds relevancy and authenticity to a story. Persuading a candidate by offering facts instead of platitudes will be more successful. That's been proven time and time again. And we have talked about how to construct a compelling recruiting narrative for years. And we started with Firmscape. It is our competitive intelligence program, right? So you can look and pull up the firm promotion report, and you can look to see if your firm promotes more people than they do at their current firm. You can toggle in their practice. You can toggle in their location for more granular results. You can use the Firmscape report to see if your numbers on gender and diversity are better than they are at their current firm. You can look overall or just look at one office that you're hiring for. You can toggle in their practice area and get even more detail. It's a really powerful report. The growth decline report can show you if your firm is growing while theirs might be languishing. You can toggle in their office, their practice area to show that your litigation practice is thriving while at their firm it's stagnant or it's losing attorneys. You can compare everything in the firm comparison report, and you can just scan practice area and specialty numbers across both firms. Or you can use our recruiting connection tool to see if your candidate knows anyone at your firm. You don't have to take a poll. You don't have to send out an email and say, hey, does anybody know George? You can do it all with one click. You can see anyone that they worked with previously at a different firm, or even people they went to law school together that are currently working at your firm. I mean, these connections can help persuade them to join your firm. And knowing people within their firm creates a soft landing for the candidate. And it also increases the odds of them being successful, a successful lateral hire. So all of these reports that I just showed you and more can help you construct that narrative I was talking about, but it takes time and it takes some digging and you have to connect a lot of dots. And we wanted to change that. So all of the reports in Leopard BI were created to solve a particular problem and to make the interface as simple as possible, but keeping the output powerful, compelling, and easy to understand. So we are striving to serve up your answers on a silver platter. And that brings us to our brand new report that just does just that. And that is the Coach's Corner. So when we were at NOWS, we were speaking with some law firm professionals, and they expressed a frustration with the whole candidate interview process. They said their hiring partner, at times was not prepared. He was sort of looking for that candidate to sell themselves to him instead of him selling the candidate on the firm. They would run some Firmscape reports. They would try to give him some ammunition that might be tempting, but it was work. And they have a lot of candidates that they're trying to, schedule to come into this interview process. So we decided that we would try to tackle this problem by creating one report that does it all. And that is our Coach's Corner. And it's available right now to everybody that has the BI suite. If you just go to your dashboard, go to Leopard BI and then click on Coach's Corner, and it will take you right into the report. So up top, could not be simpler. All you do is enter the name of the attorney that you're going to send in for an interview, and you enter your firm name that's going to be, conducting. This is who you're looking to hire, right? We're going to pre-populate the locations and the practice area fields. However, let's say that our target firm here doesn't want to hire this gentleman to work in their New York location. They want him to work in Miami. Okay, then you can just change the location to Miami. He works in ERISA now. That's his current practice area, but you might want to hire him for labor and employment, being a little, slightly different field. Just toggle in labor and employment and you will still get the results, right? But we're going to pre-populate it for you with currently the attorney location, the current attorney practice area, and we're going to match them up with what you have available at your firm. Then we look at our results. So it says this report was generated to show how Kenneth of a particular firm might fit into a different firm as a lateral hire. And the first thing you see are connections. Well, these are the connections from that recruiting connection report, right? First, you can tell that there's a high probability move of Kenneth. So he really is looking to move. So that's a good thing. He has 4 high connections into your firm. He has 8 medium connections into your firm and a total of 12. If you click on that number, it's actually going to go into that report and it's going to show you what those connections are. So our particular attorney is connected by working at this firm to these people who are currently in your firm. And when you roll over each individual person, it will say, oh, well, Kenneth and James had worked in White and Case together in New York between 2017 and 2021. So it's going to tell you exactly what that connection is. Then you can go and there it is right there, a little bigger view for you. Then you go back to your report and we're going to look in the pros section. So for your hiring partner, you really kind of want them to concentrate on the pros section. Each header is different. And the first in this section is the office and practice area combination. So imagine you went into Firmscape and you toggled in the New York office, you toggled in ERISA, and you're looking at your 2 firms side by side. Right? That's exactly what this is telling you. And it's saying we have a much larger presence in our New York office and the ERISA practice area than at your current firm. And here are the numbers. So at the firm seeking to hire, you've got 25 folks. At his current firm, he only has 7. Then again, still within the office and practice area combination, we're looking at promotions to partner. Our rate of promotions to partner is 15%, and it's much higher in New York and the ERISA practice area than in your current firm. And this looking back for the last 12 months. So in the last 12 months, no one in his current firm was promoted to partner within the New York office with the practice area of ERISA. Then it says we have a much higher presence in New York than your current firm. Our New York office has a higher percentage of women partners, if that's meaningful. Our New York office has a higher rate of promotions to partner in general, right? So at top, it's telling you within the practice area of ERISA and the office of New York, there's more promotions to partner, but the New York office in general has a higher rate of promotions to partner. The next grouping is it's United States practice area data. So this is all over the US. It's not tied to a particular office. And it says we have a much larger presence in ERISA than you have at your current firm. Overall, our ERISA practice area has a higher rate of promotions to partner than, and this is looking at all practice areas, which is why this is slightly different. And in the report, wherever you see a percentage, you can actually roll over and see the underlying number, because we want you to be able to go back and look and measure, and everybody wants to count everything. So we just want to validate all of these calculations for you. And I want you just to notice too, sometimes it just says is higher. Sometimes it says it's much higher. And sometimes in a different section, it might say it's lower, right? And we have it fixed. So it's tailored as the data changes and as the gap widens and lessens as to what the message is going to tell. So they're going to know if it's much higher or much lower, or if it's just a bit higher or slightly higher. All of that will be in there, and all of that's written out for you. So we do have another section, and that is called the cons section, because no argument is complete without, the back and forth and the rebuttal. So if this is something that this attorney brings up, we want you to be prepared and have an answer ready for why, the target firm may have a lower number in this section than his firm. So we just want you to be prepared. So, and prepare that answer, right? So when you say our percentage of ethnically diverse partners is smaller than within your area and ERISA, and it is smaller, but then you can say we are actively working to change that. While our diversity numbers are smaller, we are working to change that in 2022, and that's why we're interested in bringing you on, et cetera, et cetera. So this really allows you to see the overall picture of all the good stuff and the potentially questionable stuff that attorney might ask in that interview. So your partner might be ready with a complete answer. And it just really couldn't be simpler to run, right? And we've been talking this whole time about law firms and law firm partners, but recruiters, you have a blank slate here. Even before you pick up that phone, for the first call, you can know every compelling argument that can persuade this candidate to move. No BS, no generalities. You know all of the best sales pitches by running a single report. I mean, when we sat down to build this, we said, okay, where would we find those pieces of the puzzle that we've been talking about for so long? What could I pull from here? What could I pull from here? What could I pull from here? And that's exactly what we did. Now, every report will not be the same. You may run some reports and you've got a longer list of cons than you've got pros. It's going to be tailored to each individual attorney, practice, and location, marriage within whatever target firm that you have selected. But this does all the thinking for you. You don't have to go run report after report looking for that golden nugget, right? This is going to give you that whole pan of gold right in front of you. And then it's up to you to use it to mine that candidate to either get him to move or get him to, join your firm. And that's our latest and greatest. That's the Coach's Corner, and it joins the BI suite today. So if you have it, you can go log into it right now and plug in some names and see what kind of narrative you're going to be able to weave from everything that we've given you.
That's awesome. A very simplified process to making their lives hopefully a lot easier when they're painting the picture to candidates. I'm going to drop into the chat our support email in case anyone has questions, would like trainings on. We have a great support team that we just continuously get accolades and commentary from our clients. They just continue to do a great job, and they're available to do trainings and overviews, especially for our Leopard BI customers. Obviously, you can reach out to us if you have questions about Leopard BI in general. So I just dropped the support email into the chat for you guys to take advantage of. And as we always say, where we get most of our information from is from our clients and feedback. So we launched it live today. We're excited to hear everyone's feedback. We've been sort of showing some people behind the curtain over the last couple of weeks during some demos and gotten some good feedback, but we're excited to hear more from you guys. And if there's tweaks, enhancements, and anything else that we could do to make your lives easier, we're here to certainly support that. So we
and I have one little offer for some of our clients. In the past, we have asked some of you to be beta testers for new programs. We have something super cool that we're working on for Leopard List. And if you are interested in joining in a very special beta program, we're going to be able to give you a special tool that will really help simplify searching in Leopard List. So if you'd like to, take part in that, raise your hand, send us an email, let us know, and then we will give you access. Got it, Jennifer? Yep. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm trying to write everyone's little hands down. But if you want to just shoot an email to myself or Laura, I'm going to drop our emails in here as well, and you can hit us directly, as well as our sales email. So there's multiple ways you could reach us. We also obviously want to wish everyone a happy and healthy Memorial Day weekend. With everything going on in this world, I'm sure we could all use some good time and togetherness with our families. So wish everyone a happy and healthy time, and look forward to hearing from you.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks.